Okay, today I want to talk about the asset browser, which is something I discovered embarrassingly late in my 3D career. And the asset browser is essentially a library of all your different models, textures, HDRIs, node groups, anything that you want to bring into a scene and not have to go and find on your computer somewhere. It's nice and organized here, ready to drag and drop into your scene. And I want to show you guys how to create assets and how to store them into this library here. So I'm going to go and I'm going to load factory settings so I see what you guys see. And here we go, default Blender file. Start by obviously deleting everything. And you'll notice if you click between any of these tabs, you're not going to see the asset browser. Yeah, I don't think it's anywhere in here, which is kind of weird, and it's part of the reason why I didn't use it for so long, because I kind of didn't know about it. The way that you add an asset browser is by going to one of these little icons in the top left corners of the blocks and change the editor type. And I'm going to change the editor type to the asset browser. And that's going to load up probably something like this with the default hair nodes that Blender comes with. And I'll just change to only see what we have for this current file here. So let's say I have a cool model that I made. Let's say I followed Blender Guru's donut tutorial and made a really cool donut, and I would like to bring that into future scenes. And I could always import that the normal way, but if you have a lot of assets you want to do that with, that just becomes really a pain. So we're going to go over to where our object is in the outliner, and we're going to right click, and down here there's an option where we can mark it as an asset, and you'll see it immediately popped up in our asset browser, and it also added the little asset icon, which is like the three little books there. Congrats, now it's an asset, which is awesome. But if we were to open a new scene and go here, we would not see our donut. And that's because it's only saved to the current file. So what we want to do, we want to tell Blender where on our computer to search for assets, because Blender's like, I'm not searching your whole computer. Give me a folder, I'll search there, I'll pull from that. So what we're going to do is go to Edit, Preferences, and all the way at the bottom, there's a tab for File Paths. So we're going to click that. And then this drop down here, Asset Libraries, you'll see that we need to set a path. And right now there's like a default path, but it doesn't really work. So you need to click the folder icon and then just create or navigate to a folder on your computer that you want to store all the assets. So for me, I have a folder called Local Assets. So I will pick that and click Accept. So for our user library, we have this file path, which works great. And then you just need to make sure that when you save the Blender file that has your donut or whatever asset you want in it, you save it in that same folder. So when I save this file, I save it to the folder Local Assets, call it something like donut, save. And then if I were to open a new Blender file and pull up my asset browser, we should see our donut. Yep, there is our donut. And you can drag and drop into your scene, and it will align to faces, which is super convenient. Sit right on the floor, and those are all linked to our Blender file with the donut that we made. And you can make as many of these paths as you want to. You just need to tell Blender where to look. So if you have different folders that you want Blender to reference, you just need to click the plus sign and add that. I have an external hard drive that I keep a lot of assets on, so I can just set that as an asset library, and then it becomes an option down here. So I can access all the models and textures on that external hard drive. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys. Leave a comment if you have any questions, and go make some cool assets.